Yo, what's up? So, as part two, to address the other important points, a lot of people are going to say, thinking, oh, you just moved really far away and now you're just talking a lot of crap on people. But the fact is, I'm not talking crap. And that's just a fact. The only thing you can really say is I'm judging a society, judging a culture, and I'm actually judging it correctly. The only person I've had some arguments with is somebody who's been posting a lot of just garbage onto my posts. And I know he's coming from the other side, so that brings me to my second point, talking about enemies. See, I can understand why you guys don't understand this. So let me try to explain it to you though, because this, it's not something that you guys are thinking about. So people posting stuff, the new agey kind of stuff, talking about Christ consciousness, or talking about duality. He's trying to say that the Antichrist and the Christ are both inside of a person, and this is just not something I subscribe to. And in fact, it's something that is counter to my well-being, counter to the well-being of others. So that's an enemy, This is a philosophy that I've already looked at and analyzed, and it's of the other side. It's of the spirit that's not on your side, basically. So that's that. I mean, if you're preaching that kind of mixed up garbage, that's one of my enemies. And so clearly there's a large number of them. But what you don't understand is it's not enemies in the same way that you people have your enemies and you're out to get them, and you're plotting against them and you're trying to find revenge and whatnot. This is a spiritual kind of a battle. And the fact that some of you people can't recognize that you have enemies, some of you people, right? Some well-meaning people don't recognize that you have spiritual enemies. That's on you. That's not on me. That just shows that you're lacking some discernment spiritually, because you do have spiritual enemies. Okay? You don't always recognize that you have spiritual enemies. Kind of like how I was. I had a lot of love for people in general. I was willing to make a lot of friends, a lot of places. But once you get to a certain point of understanding, you do see the spiritual battle going on. And you really see who's lined up on your side and who is on the side of the enemy. So, like I said once again, this is not the same way that you guys have enemies out there. It's not like you're out to get someone. It's like at best you're out to help them, and at worst you're just getting away from them. But this isn't like the little petty worldly stuff. It's spiritual, and you fight a spiritual battle differently. This isn't like somebody trying to rob me and I'm going to pull out a gun and blast them away. It's different. We're dealing with the spirit. It takes consent of different people to seek that better spirit so we can have a better world. And it also takes exposing the other side, so hopefully some people can understand it. And I totally understand that there's a lot of people that can't. I used to feel the same way. I was locked into that same mindset that a lot of other people are in. It's very materialistic, and you believe what you see, and you believe what you read in Skeptic magazine, and maybe what you see from Richard Dawkins and everything else. It kind of puts you into this comfort zone. So they get into a comfort zone, and long story short, I got knocked out of mine, and I had to look around and figure out what was next. So, some people think, oh, he fell off, he's off his rocker now, but intellectually speaking, I'm still on it. And I did some extensive reading, and I really had a lot of time to think and observe the world. I wasn't working just a typical 9 to 5. So on my free time, I spent a lot of time doing research and looking at other people's research, and I applied logic to it also. And I've studied logic, but logic doesn't make everything right. But the fact of the matter is, it's clear to me there's a spiritual side to things. Whether you believe in it or not, it's a useful model, and it can be used very well to predict the future. And that's the scary part for a lot of people out there. I know you want to stay in that comfort zone out there. I'm not just talking to Kyle anymore, but to everybody. But, this is, it's just not possible. And if you come out of it and you're willing to take that challenge and get through the hard times to get there, we're all going to be better off, especially if you can help others to do the same. So that's what I'm doing. I've woken up to some of the emergency and the importance of the situation that we're in right now, and so I'm trying to get people woken up, and I'm trying to help people. It'll help all of us. So just to recap everything, what you're thinking about enemies is a misconception. You're on point being able. I'm glad you're saying what other people are thinking, and that's cool. It kind of amuses me to see the misconceptions about myself. So yeah, when I'm talking about enemies, this is not some Scarface personal grudge. I could honestly care less about one little incident, one little fight, one little whatever with somebody. But I will bring it up as a tool, and I am trying to expose what's going on. Is there some personal feeling there? I'm not even going to get into that, because it really, if you look at it, it really is about the message. And you don't just see me calling out people all over the place, It's a focused effort. I'm only calling people out if they're going to get on my nerves personally. Yes, then I will personally call them out for what they are. But generally speaking, it's about exposing the spirits out there. I'm going to show you the spirit that's on my side, the spirits that's on the other side. And from my heart, what I'm trying to do out here is find that spirit that is for the better world, and be against the one that's out to destroy it. So that's what I pray about, and that's where I'm going to be led to. So you need to ask some of these other people, what are they really praying about? Are they even praying at all? Because if not, how do they know where they're heading? So to all you people out there, if this advice helps you, then look into it. And don't be scared with all the crazy information out there. There's a lot of it, and it is something that's scary sometimes. But don't let that fear get to you. And if it does, make sure you just take time to recalibrate yourself and get yourself stronger every time. Get yourself strong enough to handle what's going on. And believe me, you can. I've looked into a lot of scary, true stuff, and we can all handle it. And especially the more of us that learn about it, the stronger we are. So do what you can, learn a little bit at a time. It's a process. It takes a long time, but you need to go about as fast as you can without breaking yourself, without hurting yourself, and help others get there. Peace.